There are quite a few questions surrounding the 2021 Minnesota Fighting Vikings, namely, where's the Super Bowl parade going to go? Is it going to go right through downtown, go by the stadium? It's whatever, right? But in actuality, a couple of questions about this team as they head into training camp and whatnot. NFL Nation on ESPN did up all 32 teams, biggest questions surrounding the squad, blah, blah, blah. And our local writer, Courtney Cronin, proposed a couple of her own, namely about the offensive line, as well as the wide receiver 3 competition, and also who's going to get after it opposite Danielle Hunter. We wanted to throw out a couple of potential answers, probably wrong ones, but I don't care. That's on brand for us right now. First one, probably the biggest one. Biggest question still to be answered. Speaking of offensive linemen, will the projected starting 5 of Christian Darrisaw, Ezra Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Wyatt Davis, and Brian O'Neill be ready to go week 1? Now, it would be ideal if Darrisaw is good to go right away, but with that groin, you do want to take it easy and be careful with it. And the team does seem comfortable with veteran Rashad Hill. They brought him back at a decent-sized 1-year deal, and he was a starter before under the Zimmer regime at right tackle before giving way to rookie Brian O'Neill in 2018. But Davis has beginning some reps with the ones, which you'll love to see, man. Hopefully he's going to supplant Dakota Dozier. So I would actually bet that Davis would be starting week 1 over Darrisaw at this stage. And going into week 1 against Cincinnati with an offensive line of Hill, Ezra, Bradbury, Davis, O'Neill. But Darrisaw should and could be waiting in the wings, maybe this time off with the groin. He sat out most of OTAs, a mandatory minicamp, as well as 6 weeks before training camp. Maybe he's going to be good to go. Maybe he's going to supplant Rashad Hill after a couple of training camp practices, as well as preseason games. And maybe we will get our dream offensive line. Yes, a little bit dangerous, starting 2 young rookies, as well as 3 other young veterans on the O-line. But at a certain point, you got to go with it, man. You got to let these guys build up chemistry because this is going to be the blueprint. This is going to be the starting 5 for the future of the Vikings offensive line, so may as well get after it. Next question. Additionally, will the Vikings use the $13.5 million in cap space to bring in a number 3 receiver to give the offense another layer in the passing game? As of right now, I don't think so. Because even though you do have Larry Fitzgerald and Golden Tate and Tavon Austin and D.D. Westbrook out there, etc., I think that they are going to give a shot and roll with Chad Beebe and B.C. Johnson and ISM, the 5th-round pick out of Iowa, as well as the rest of the rookies, especially the UDFAs. See if someone emerges in camp and preseason and really takes a hold of that wide receiver 3 spot. But if no one really does, like if no one really steps up and takes that brass ring in training camp or in the preseason games, you could see some movement before the season. Maybe D.D. Westbrook come on down, or maybe hey, Larry Fitzgerald, the part owner of the Suns, fresh off his latest NBA championship, maybe he's just like, one last ride in the great state of Minnesota. Last question, and most importantly, who starts at defensive end opposite of Danielle Hunter? And we've talked that Danielle was sorely missed last season. The Vikings edge rushers were booty, even with Yannick the freaking Ngakoue providing a spark for a hot second. But I think the coaches will go with who they know. Steve Weatherly coming back on a free agent deal. He started 7 games for the Vikings before, including 6 in 2018, filling in for Everson Griffin. And Patterson loves him. He got to work with the ones at OTA, so I think that he is a prohibitive favorite as of right now to at least start on paper. But I think it will be a village opposite of Danielle, especially if they're working a lot of exotic looks, a lot of defensive ends kicking inside on passing downs. You like to see that. DJ Wanham year 2 will get his. Also mid-round rookies Patrick Jones II and Janaris Robinson both have great raw talent, and you could see them get in spurts on passing downs. Plus you could possibly see Sheldon at defensive end in certain heavy packages. But I love it, man. I love talking about football. I love talking about the Vikings, even though we're in the dead zone. That fly into the dead zone of the NFL news cycle, but it's whatever. Get fired up about the Vikings this year. Lots of questions, and it goes back to the Super Bowl parade. Downtown, does it go through St. Paul? Do it follow the green line, the blue line? I don't know. Lots of options here. But your thoughts on our thoughts on ESPN's answering their questions, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. We'll support that work. Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.